Picture this. You've had a snake plant sitting in the corner of your living room for about 12 years. You water it occasionally. And by occasionally, I mean whenever you remember it exists. You've moved it twice, ignored it completely, and one morning you walk in and find it has flowered. Not because you did anything right, but possibly because you did everything wrong. Welcome to one of the quiet wonders of the plant world, the snake plant bloom, a rare, fragrant, almost defiant little miracle that most plant owners never witness in a lifetime of ownership. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on why it happens, what it means, and, if you're patient enough, how you might just coax yours into doing it too. No pressure. Your plant certainly didn't feel any. Well, actually, it did. That's kind of the whole point. And before we get into the mystery, let's get properly acquainted with the plant in question. The snake plant, scientifically known as Dracaena trifasciata, and before that, Sansevieria trifasciata, is native to West Africa, specifically Nigeria and the Congo region. It grows wild in rocky, arid environments where most plants wouldn't last a long weekend. It arrived in Western homes sometime in the early 20th century, and it has been quietly thriving on benign neglect ever since. It tolerates low light. It survives irregular watering. It cleans the air. NASA actually included it in a famous study on indoor air purification, and it asks for almost nothing during its return. In some regions, it's called mother-in-law's tongue, a name with an obvious edge to it, and in others, the viper's bowstring hemp. It's because its strong leaf fibers were once used to make bowstrings. The snake plant has been useful, resilient, and understated for centuries. It's basically the introvert of the plant kingdom. Keeps to itself, doesn't make a fuss, until, very rarely, it does. Here is something most people don't know. The snake plant can live for 10, 15, even 20 years indoors without ever producing a single flower. In fact, many devoted plant owners, people who have tended their snake plants through multiple house moves, through decades of seasons, through entire chapters of their lives, have never seen one bloom. Not once. When it does flower, it's the kind of thing that makes you stop and genuinely wonder if your plant has been hiding something from you this whole time, which, in a sense, it has. The blooms themselves are subtle, small, tubular flowers, usually white or cream-colored, clustered along a single, tall spike that rises from the center of the plant, almost overnight. They're not dramatic. They won't stop your guests in their tracks, the way a bird of paradise might. But once you know what they mean, they're extraordinary. So what makes this bloom finally appear after years of silence? That is where the story gets genuinely interesting. The snake plant blooms under stress. Not a little stress. Real prolonged stress. The kind that comes from being neglected, forgotten, slightly underpotted, and subjected to irregular light. Which, if you've been treating your snake plant this way, is actually rather good news for you personally. Here is the biological reality. When a plant faces conditions that threaten its survival, drought, root restriction, and poor soil nutrients, extended periods of bright indirect light, it can trigger a reproductive response. Essentially, the plant reaches a tipping point where it decides on some deep cellular level that it had better produce seeds while it still can. Flowering is reproduction. It is the plant's attempt to spread its genetics before things get worse. In botanical terms, stress-induced flowering is called a survival bloom, and it is one of the more quietly poetic things in the natural world. The snake plant, cornered and under pressure, decides to make something beautiful. The most common triggers include being severely root-bound, meaning the roots have filled and outgrown the pot entirely. Extended periods of drought where the plant has gone weeks or even months with little to no water. Exposure to bright, consistent indirect light, particularly from an east or west-facing window. And temperature fluctuations, especially the cooling that comes with autumn and winter. None of these conditions are harmful in the short term. In fact, experienced snake plant keepers sometimes deliberately mimic them to encourage blooming. We'll come back to that. Now here is the part that catches most people completely off guard. The snake plant bloom has a scent. And not just any scent. It produces a sweet, almost jasmine-like fragrance that is strongest at night. This is not an accident. The snake plant is pollinated by moths in the wild, nocturnal creatures drawn to sweet smells in the dark. So the plant times its fragrance for after sunset, releasing nectar from those tiny tubular flowers to attract whatever nighttime visitor might help carry its pollen forward. If your snake plant blooms and you happen to notice a faint sweetness in the air one evening and can't quite place it, now you know. Your plant is calling out to the night. A bit theatrical, perhaps, for something that normally just stands in a corner ignoring everyone. The blooming period typically lasts a few weeks. After the flowers fade, small orange or red berries sometimes appear. Though indoors, without a pollinator, fruiting is uncommon. The flower stalk will eventually die back, and the plant will continue on as if nothing happened. No ceremony, no encore. Just back to business. Speaking of things worth paying attention to, if you're finding this interesting, there's a good chance the next few minutes are going to be even more so. Some of you watching might want to stick around for more of these plant mysteries, and if that's the case, there's a little button nearby that makes that very easy to arrange. Just a thought. Now, where were we? The snake plant has accumulated a rather impressive folklore across cultures, and its rare bloom plays a notable role in several traditions. In parts of West Africa, where the plant originates, the snake plant has long been associated with protection, specifically against evil spirits and negative energy. It was, and in some communities still is, planted near entrances to homes as a kind of botanical guardian. A blooming snake plant was considered especially auspicious, a sign that the home and its inhabitants were in harmony with their environment. In Chinese tradition, and the snake plant, sometimes called the tiger's tail orchid, is considered a symbol of good luck and is associated with the 8 virtues: longevity, prosperity, intelligence, beauty, art, poetry, health, and strength. A flowering one in the home. That's not something you ignore. In more recent Western practice, it's become popular in feng shui as a plant that absorbs negative qi, or energy, particularly in spaces with poor air circulation or stagnant atmosphere. Whether or not you subscribe to any of these beliefs, there's something rather elegant about the idea that a plant that thrives under hardship and blooms in survival mode would become a symbol of resilience and good fortune. It earned it. Now for the practical question everyone is quietly thinking. Can I make mine do this? The honest answer is possibly. With patience, act, and without forcing it. First, consider the pot. If your snake plant is sitting comfortably in a pot with plenty of room to grow, it has very little reason to bloom. Gently being root-bound, not suffocating but snug, is one of the most commonly reported conditions in plants that have flowered. If the roots are just beginning to circle the bottom of the pot, resist the urge to repot. Let it be. It may be gathering itself. Second, adjust your watering. During autumn and winter especially, reduce watering significantly. The snake plant is extraordinarily tolerant of drought, and a period of dryness, weeks, not days, may help trigger that survival response. Just don't forget about it entirely for months at a stretch. That's less stress trigger and more plant obituary. Third, light. Move the plant to a brighter location, not direct sunlight, which can scorch the leaves, but consistent, bright, indirect light from an east or west-facing window. This, combined with cooler temperatures in autumn, can help mimic the conditions in its native environment that would naturally precede a bloom. Fourth, and this one is the hardest for people who love their plants, leave it alone. Don't fertilize aggressively. Don't repot. Don't fuss. The snake plant is not a plant that rewards fussing. It rewards a kind of benevolent indifference that, frankly, most plants could never tolerate. The snake plant has made it into an art form. There are no guarantees. Some snake plants bloom and never bloom again. Some bloom repeatedly over the years. Some never bloom at all, regardless of conditions. And that, perhaps, is part of what makes it special. You can set the stage, but the plant decides when it's ready. There's something worth sitting with here, beyond the botany. The snake plant blooms, not when everything is perfect, not when it has the ideal pot, the perfect soil, the exact right amount of water and sun. It blooms when things get hard, when space runs out and the water runs low and the conditions push against it. It's difficult not to find something quietly meaningful in that. A plant that has spent years being sturdy and practical and unassuming, and then one day, under pressure, on its own terms, in its own time, produces something fragrant and unexpectedly lovely. It doesn't ask for recognition. It doesn't need the conditions to be ideal. It just decides that now, despite everything, is a good time to bloom. And there are worse philosophies to keep in a corner of your living room. If your snake plant has ever surprised you with a bloom, I'd genuinely love to hear about it. Drop a comment below and tell us the story. How long had you had it? What were you doing to it? Or more accurately, not doing to it? And if you enjoyed spending a few minutes in the company of this peculiar, wonderful plant, subscribing to the channel means you won't miss the next one. We have more plant mysteries where this came from. Your snake plant would want you to stay. It's just too dignified to say so.